Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. We are back on the dev server to have a look at the rest of the changes that came out today. Once again, you can see the dev server got updated, so it's time to go over a few other things. First of all, we have this Z10A. The reason why I wanted to chat about this is we talked about it earlier, but I didn't point out that this is a premium squadron vehicle. So for some reason, it has all the premium bonuses on it. You can also see that it's labeled as a premium, and also you get the talisman and all the modifications for free, but it's also labeled as a squadron vehicle. So right now, this thing is a bit of both. My guess is it'll probably come in as a squadron vehicle, but who knows? It could actually come in as a premium as well. Another thing that's kind of funny is this vehicle has access to the flares and chaff, and then also it has access to a few other factors, such as you can see here it has the LWR, LWS. Well, basically, what they've done is they've removed some of the stuff from the standard Z10, which was on it, and you can see here it's lost its more modification, and then also it shouldn't have access to all of its internal systems either. You can see it actually lost its LWR, LWS. So technically, the Z10A that we have in the game now, this one is what the Z10 used to be, plus a little bit of armor on it. And also, the Z10 is actually losing some abilities, which kind of sucks. But yeah, this is the first time I think I've ever seen a premium squadron vehicle. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be one or the other. Don't think it's going to be a weird mix between the two. Another thing to also note about the French tech tree here, for the coastal fleet, the VTB9, they're actually sneakily changing in cost. So it's going from 250 GE to 400. I think the reason for this is because this vehicle is coming in, which is going to be the starter kind of premium, which are usually 250. So if you want to pick this thing up, it might be worth doing it now, or even on sale, it'll be 200G, right? So that's at least something to think about. Next thing is they've changed some sounds of certain shells. Basically, what they've made it is 30 to 60 millimeters. The shell pass-by sound is closer to you, so it's only 20 millimeters now. 90 to 120 is further, it's 140 meters. And then 120 plus, instead of being 65 meters, is 1,000 meters. So if somebody fires like a 155 from over let's say 900 meters away, you will hear it. And that is kind of what's going on. They've also added a new engine sound, which is the Type 10 TK. My guess is this is for the Type 10, but I'm not sure if it was implemented or not. We're time to talk about the Comanche, which is in the American tech tree. So this vehicle has got a makeover. It's had a lot of its kind of like engine and how it affects the kind of flight of this thing changed. You can see the radar now is actually fully modeled, the CR one, and also the electrical optical system, which is really cool, and all of the subsystems as well. It has auto countermeasures, even though it doesn't have any countermeasures. But one of the things they've also added to it is better loadouts. So before you had just the Hellfires, right? Well, now you have the M247 Hydras, so you can bring these on as a first spawn. And then also you have access to 16 Stingers. So if you really want to try and give certain planes a bad day, you can actually use this. Just like how the Chinese get access to all of their TY-90s, this one can get all of the Stingers too. So that's pretty crazy. That they've actually added this to it. A lot of people have also asked about the armor on this thing, so I thought I'd show you what it is right now. Just 12 millimeters and 10 millimeters over it, but it gives it a little bit more tankiness because most people shoot these things with machine guns, so at least it'll give you some defense compared to others. Another vehicle I do also want to talk about is the Iowa. They've very much changed a lot of the Iowa's armor, and they've added a bunch of it around. So you can see how it's only like 38.1 here, but then, you know, you will have like stuff under it. You can see here the 203, the 279, and then also you have 432 and 431 on the turret. So what they've done is they've ended up just putting armor like literally everywhere all over the thing, and it's just all incredibly well modeled to a ridiculous setup. So the stuff that you saw in the review that we did on it is not the same as what it was now. And this kind of goes for a lot of the ships. A lot of the ships, they have massive changes in terms of not just kind of like their armor layout that we've seen around the place, but also stuff such as the general like floating ability of them or the speed that they have in the water. Another thing to also mention is on the forums right now, there is actually a post which goes through a bunch of BR decompression for naval. So they're going to be decompressing a lot of naval vehicles in the blue water tech tree, and then also at the same time they are going to be removing some planes from the top tier area too. So you're probably not going to be able to do Nords or anything like that, which kind of sucks. Pretty much all of the high tier AAs that they added, plus the F2A, got access to an advanced CTR setup, which you can see here, the Types 51, so you can kind of just tell what everything is, which is pretty crazy. And then also they finally kind of fixed the armor on a lot of the premium vehicles that are coming in. So for example, the T-34-85-45, it now has actual proper armor. It was 5mm previously, now it's 45. And then on the booty, it's 45 instead of the 20, which it was before. The sides as well have been changed, and also the tracks have been changed too. So pretty much everything has been changed on it compared to when we talked about it before, which is basically how this stuff works. They also changed some stuff on the T-86, but nothing too massive that you have to really worry about. Same with like the Hellcat here. What they've actually done with the Hellcat is really cool. So you know how with the Hellcat for the longest time it had like stacks of ammunition. So let's talk about some like warthunder lore. So the way that ammunition used to work in warthunder is it was in like packages. So for example, on this vehicle, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 packages, right? And what this would mean is you would have to fire all these rounds for these to kind of disappear. Then what they did a little bit later on is they actually started individually modeling each round in the X-ray. So therefore, when you fired a round, it disappeared out too. So you can see with this Hellcat now, it should actually do that. If we actually, you know, have a few shots off, you can generally see the rounds like individually disappearing. So I think that's actually kind of cool, and hopefully they can kind of continue that. It looks like it's going in 2s right now, but before you'd have to shoot like the whole block for it all to disappear. So I think that is actually pretty awesome. So yeah, it just means that the ammo is where it should be and isn't where it shouldn't be. A lot of naval changes as well to repair times, so they're kind of all over the place in terms of what they've done with them. The repair times are one of those things that consistently changes in the game, and I thought I would just kind of show you the stats. I don't think I did last time, of the FLZLWF Falco missile. This missile was completely changed. So all of the stats that you saw on it before were just wrong because it wasn't implemented properly, as I said previously. One of the most interesting things about this is it actually has lock-on after launch, which obviously makes sense since it's a semi-active. It doesn't have, once it leaves the rail, it needs a little bit of time to actually get going on it, but pretty much all of the things have changed. So every single factor on it that you may have seen previously as a stat has just been completely changed. So don't be too surprising if what you see is not what you get. They also changed, of course, the FB-10 missiles, which we showed the other day. They have just completely been revamped in every single way. So that is something that I'm sure will consistently happen as well. And also, they added the other modifications to the CS SA5 too. So just a little few things here and there. All of the other changes are just like a new sensor, which is the DIRCM. We talked about that the other day for the Z10ME. Don't think it's actually fully implemented yet. And another thing that people keep asking me is, when do I think this update will be out? Don't think it'll be out next week, but it'll probably be out the week after. As always, hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time.
I'd just like to thank GMG Smiley, CD Beans, Chieftain Mike, EMN3 Galaxy, Tulio Pontecorvo, Brendan Quinn, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Warthunder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Ozzy Panzer, Alan Hacker, Liam Shear, Opium Prime, Lafouche, Sem, Aslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.